What's good, everybody? Hope you guys are doing good. So today I'm going to be going over Boeing and what the heck is going to go on with Boeing stock right now, because their chart is kind of out of control. In case you guys have been paying attention, within the past 6 months here, look at this. This is crazy, guys. They dropped under $100 a share in March, and then next thing you know, over here in about, I'm going to say beginning of May to about mid-May, right here, all the way to June 8th, look at that, 92% increase from May 15th to June 8th. That is insane. And then they just dropped right here on June 10th at the time of the recording. Now, quick disclaimer, I do own Boeing stock. Unfortunately, right now I'm taking a loss. Everything I'm going to discuss here is only my opinion, and this is all for entertainment purposes. Do your own research before you do anything. If you buy a stock, if you sell a stock, make sure you talk to an expert. This is only for fun and entertainment, okay? That being said, let's continue. Alright, so what is Boeing? In case for whatever reason you guys don't know what Boeing is. Boeing is an aerospace company. Basically, they include commercial airplanes, they produce and market commercial jets, aircraft, and they do a lot of sales to the government for planes and weapons and stuff. Now, their dividend chart over here, as you can see, it looks like it started in 1996, and this is pretty decent growth. They have been growing. Now here in 2020, they had to cut because of all the issues that they've been having. Now, they have a large cap. They're 115 billion, which is why I liked Boeing. 115 billion. They've been paying a dividend pretty consistently. Their yield was, I think, about, I'll say 3 or 4%, around there. It was $2 a share that they were giving out at the beginning of the year. Overall, it was pretty decent. Now, as you can see here, 122 billion mega cap, high volatility, and May 20th is when they announced Boeing suspends dividends to preserve cash. Boeing announced it was suspending dividends, and it was downgraded to unsafe on March 11th, and due to the whole bug that's going on, CEO Dave Calhoun and board chairman Larry Kellner will forego all pay. The company suspended its dividend until further notice. Boeing will extend its pause of any share repurchase until further notice. The company previously suspended its stock buyback program in April of 2019. So that could be a positive. They're not doing the whole share buybacks, which could be good. Boeing is drawing all of its resources to sustain operations, support its workforce and customers, and maintain supply chain continuity throughout the bug and for the long term. Now, the financials over here, guys, this is not a surprise. They're obviously down. They haven't been doing a whole lot in terms of sales, earnings. Everything is basically down, and we kind of know why. Now, what's interesting is, why did Boeing stock jump? What is the cause of this surge of 70%, depending on when you look at it, 70, 80, like you look right there, it's about 45, but if you go further back from when it was lowest at April 3rd, there you go, 85% increase. So what's causing it? So let's get some information. Shareholders of Boeing probably expected a big boost to their stock price on Wednesday after Reuters reported the 737 MAX is set for a certification test flight for the Federal Aviation Administration later this month. Instead, Boeing stock tumbled 6% on the day, taking its part suppliers Spirit Aerospace Systems Holdings and Triumph Group with it. Spirit was off a Boeing like 6.9%, and Triumph Group was down 13.6%. Okay, so what does this all mean? Problems getting the 737 MAX recertified for flight after a pair of devastating crashes in 2018 and 2019 caused the airplane to be grounded by airline around the globe and began Boeing stock slide from a high of more than $440 in 2019 to a low of just $95 in March 2020. So this is important. I got lucky. I didn't buy it at this price. When I was purchasing Boeing I think it was in the mid to late 200s, early 3s. It was around there. Now, since it's dropped to this level it was around March, I haven't touched it. I'm not going to buy anymore. My thing, again, this is only for me. It's entertainment only. When a company cuts their dividend, I really have to take a look at it and say, okay, going forward, is this a company that I want to invest in? When times are tough, you're going to see which companies can survive and which ones can't. And with Boeing, although they are a huge mega cap company with 30 billion, 140 billion, what was it? 114 billion, my bad. 114 billion, and their dividend prior looked decent. As you can see here, last year it was 20%, last 5 years it was 23%, last 20 years 14%, and it's been going up since 2013, guys. So the chart looks good and everything, but like I said, once they cut the dividend, I have to take a step back and think, how long is the cut going to be for? And what we're seeing, let's just hypothetically say this recertification process, they try to apply for it and it doesn't go through. Let's say they can't get certified for the 737 MAX. Well, guess what? Their stock is probably going to go down if that's the case. Now, let's say it does get certified. Maybe they get the 737 back up and running, and then shortly, within months or a year or two, they can reinstate dividends. Like I said, that's all something you got to assess for yourself and decide if it makes sense. Like I said, I'm just here giving you guys ideas. I want you guys to do more research, talk to an expert, and come to your own decisions, and don't just follow advice. If I said it or someone else said it, it's just entertainment. Okay, let's continue. Now what? Additionally, today saw a couple of headlines for a resolution of the bug crisis, which has dried up demand for air travel, devastated the airline industry, and cratered demand for new Boeing airplanes. Okay, here we go. This is important, guys. Let's zoom in. This is important. Okay, on Wednesday, which is today, Dr. Fauci, head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, issued another warning that the bug isn't over yet, and the chief economist for the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, Lawrence Boone, noted today that while it's possible that bug infections will stop after a single hit to the global economy, it's just as likely that the world will face a second wave of bug infections. Oh geez. Boone said GDP in this country can be expected to contract as much as 8.5% in 2020, while next year's GDP might only grow 1.9%. Not the kind of V-shaped recovery that investors have been hoping. Furthermore, unemployment rate under this scenario could spike as high as 16.9% in the US and remain above 10% through late 2021. Numbers like these will not be good for Boeing business. A 50% chance of a second wave of bug is a significant risk and a significant weight on shares of Boeing, Spirit, and Triumph Group. Man, Dr. Fauci, this news is not good, guys. So what can we take away from this? But it makes my point even more clear. There's a lot of uncertainty going forward with the whole bug situation, people flying and traveling. There's a whole lot of uncertainty. And for me, I don't like this much uncertainty. I like to have a very basic and simple life, growing my dividends over time. And this uncertainty, although I'm young, in my 20s, I think, I cannot deal with this uncertainty. I like to sleep at night and not worry about this stuff, okay? Now, I got a few more articles here. So Boeing, as you can see, it says here, shares of Boeing fell 5.9% as stocks tied to air travel have gave back some of the recent gains on Tuesday, and the company announced negative net orders in May. Boeing said that it had 9 orders for planes for the month, but twice as many cancellations. Of the canceled orders, 14 were for the 737 MAX plane, which is still grounded after 2 fatal crashes. See, guys, this is my point. Is this news a type of news that makes you comfortable? It doesn't make me comfortable, guys. This is too much for me. Let's continue. Boeing on track for 737 MAX deliveries by third quarter. Okay. Order cancellations for new planes mount at Boeing. Boeing is still on track to resume deliveries of the troubled 737 MAX in the third quarter, amid reports that the recertification flight for the jet will take place later this month. Like I said, you're making a bet that this recertification process goes through. That's what you're betting on. Is it a bet you want to take? I don't know, you decide. Bloomberg reported Wednesday that Boeing is aiming to host regulators on a recertification flight later this month, which would test the jet's upgraded systems. Bernard Choi, Boeing's Senior Director for International Communications, declined to comment on the timing of the certification flight, but did confirm that there has been no change to the goal set by Boeing CEO David Calhoun during a first quarter earning call. All right, so the FAA said Wednesday it has been coordinating with Boeing. The FAA is in regular contact with Boeing as the company continues its work on the 737 MAX. And as you can see, the 737 MAX hasn't flown since March 2019 when it was grounded due to two fatal crashes that killed 346 people. Boeing has been trying to fix a software glitch implicated in those two crashes, as well as a slew of other problems. And then in January they restarted the production. So it's been over a year that this plane has not been flying. Now, the last thing I got here for you guys is from CNBC. Let's just go over the key points really quick. So Boeing expects to make its recertification flight by end of June. People familiar with Boeing's plan said the recertification flight may actually be more than one flight over the course of a couple. Yeah, they're gonna have to. It's not gonna just be one plane, guys. They're gonna have to test a whole bunch of planes to see if this thing is safe, because people don't want to fly on a plane that's had two crashes. People like to go in the air and be safe, and they come back down on the air safe. Okay, that's just the reality of it. They said the company has drawn up a flight plan that will demonstrate that the plane's updated flight software control allows MAX to safely operate in various scenarios. Boeing and FAA declined to comment. Now guys, I'm all about being fully transparent with you guys, so let me show you this really quick. Alright guys, so like I said, I do own Boeing stock. I haven't bought more stock. I use M1 Finance for my stock trading, and I say stock investing. I don't trade. I don't do day trading. Too much risk. I invest. So Boeing, I'm currently down 38.94%, and it's probably one of my bigger positions that I have taken a hit on. I didn't put too much invested, but they've taken the biggest hit during this time frame with everything going on. And like I said, I'm not going to add any more shares. I'm just going to sit back and hopefully this thing levels out, the dividends kick in, but I'm not really focused on Boeing at the moment. I got to divert my funds elsewhere because of everything that's going on with the 737, and they're basically betting that this thing hopefully gets recertified and the sales can go through and all that, and that's too much for me. So anyways, that's Boeing. That's what's going on with Boeing right now. And 5-year chart, look at this, guys. Their chart was freaking insane if you look back. They've been around since 1980, and they've had a solid growth. Like I said, right once that crash happened, their stock value just huge hit right here, huge hit. Now if this thing kept on going up and up and up and up, it would have been a more desirable chart, but at the time it did look good. Obviously a defense contractor usually does pretty well. However, this just goes to show you no stock is safe, no matter how much of a market cap they have, how much their dividends have been paying, regardless of how fast dividend growth has been. All it takes is one tragedy and a couple of other dominoes to fall in place, and next thing you know, the stock basically takes a hit, and it takes a while for it to get back to where it was. Alright guys, that's gonna be the next video. As always, if you're not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, don't forget to give it a like. Until next time, peace.